We continue now at the top of Daf Sadi Gimel Amud Beis Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 93b. The Gemara here is in the middle of proving that Mesayeya Ein Bo Mamish, someone or something which just supports, has no substance, and therefore, if it's only supporting, it's not going to be Chayiv in Hilchas Shabbos. It's not going to be Tameh if it's supporting the Zav, etc. So the Gemara now brings a proof from a Mishnah. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Rabbi Yossi says, Hasus Metame al Yadav v'Hachamor al Raglav. A horse is Metame by its front legs, and the donkey by its back legs. Shemishenes hasus al yada, because the horse generally supports itself on its front legs, v'chamor al raglav, and a donkey generally supports itself on its back legs. So Rashi here explains the case. Hasus metame biyadav, im hazav rochev olav. Let's say a zav is riding on a horse, v'talis tachas achas miyadav shel sus, and there's a talis under one of the front legs of the horse. Tamei, it's going to be tamei. Haval tachas raglav torah, but if the talis is underneath one of the back legs, it's tar shein mishanto al raglav, because a horse doesn't support itself with its back legs. Now we just said in the last Amud a very similar case, and we said if you have 4 talios under the 4 legs, they're actually all tar. Here we're not saying that. Lo Rabbi Yossi, obviously that does not follow Rashi says Rabbi Yossi's opinion here. But in any case, the Gemara now brings the proof. Why is it that the either the back legs or the front legs, depending on the animal, why are those not going to be tamei? Aren't they supporting? Aren't all the legs supporting one another? Lav mishum damrin and Mesayeya ein bo mamish. Isn't this a proof that Mesayeya has no substance? Mesayeya ein bo mamish. Amar Rav Ashi says afanon nami tanina. We also have a Mishnah that proves Mesayeya ein bo mamish. Rabbi Eliezer says raglo achas al hakli v'raglo achas al haritzpa. Let's say a kohen who's serving in the Beis Hamikdash. Rashi explains the case. Kohen ha'omer al gabe klio even o shum davar hachotzes beino lebein haritzva. If a kohen is doing the avod and he's standing on something which is separating between him and the floor, v'yavar avodasa psula. The halach is that that's not a good avoda. Techsiv v'sheres kechol echav halavim ha'umdim shetehei amidaso kashar echav. His standing needs to be the same as the way his other brothers stand. V'tana devei Rabbi Shmuel ho v'ritzva mekudeshes uklisharis mekudashim bezvachim. Rashi goes on to bring the source of Meseches zvachim. But in any case, the point here is, what do we say in such a case where one of the Kohen's feet is on the floor and one is not? So the Mishnah says, Ro and kol shilu yinatel hakli v'tinatel ha'even yachol lamor al raglo achas. If you're in a situation where if you would remove the kli or the stone, the Kohen is standing in such a fashion that he could stand on one foot, avodaso ksheira, then his avodah is kosher. V'im lav avodaso psul, and if not, his avodah is pasul. So the Gemara says, V'amai hakam Mesayeya b'hadei adadi. Isn't the other foot, even if he doesn't need it to stand up, isn't it at the very least a Mesayeya? Lav mishum damrin and Mesayeya ein bo mamish. It seems to indicate Mesayeya ein bo mamish. Amar Ravina says, afanon nami tanan, and we also have a mission like this. Kibel biyamin usmol. Let's say he does the Kabbalah when he's doing his service in the Beis Hamikdash. He receives with his right and his left hand. Rather, usmol mesayato, his left hand is supporting, right? Avodaso ksheira. So in such a case, his avoda is kosher. Rashi here explains, smol psula le'avoda. The left hand is pasul for avoda. Kedamar parakam dechulim kal makom shenemar etzbo konainu al yamin. So we know the left is pasul, but here the left is supporting. And what does it say in the Mishnah? Avodaso ksheira, is avoda is kosher. V'amai, why is it kosher? Hakam Mesayeya b'hadei adadi. Isn't the left hand supporting, and therefore he's doing the avoda with his left hand in the Beis Hamikdash? Lav mishum de'amrina Mesayeya ein bo mamish v'amina. Doesn't that indicate Mesayeya ein bo mamish? Gemara now goes back. Amar Mar, the master said previously, Zayachol v'Zayachol Rabbi Meir Mechayev. We said Rabbi Meir's opinion that if each person on his own can do it, and then they do it together, even though they can do it on their own, and now they're doing it as partners, Rabbi Meir holds you don't have any, the fact that 2 people are doing it is not a leniency, and we say they're chayev. So Iboilu, now the Gemara asks a question within Rabbi Meir's shita, but inan shir lazeh v'shir lazeh, or dilma shir echad l'kulam. Do we need that they do a shear for each person who's doing it, or do we say one shear for all of them? So, for example, if we're talking about something where the shear is a grogras, like carrying food, if 2 people are carrying the food, do they need to carry 2 grogras, or is 1 grogras enough? So the Gemara says it's a machlokas, Rav Chisda v'Rav Hamnuna. It's a machlokas between Rav Chisda and Rav Hamnuna. Chad Omar shir lazeh v'shir lazeh. One says you need a shear for each person doing the malacha. V'chad Omar shir echad l'chul. The other opinion is 1 shear is sufficient. Amar Rav Papa Mishmei de Rava. Rav Papa says in the name of Rava, Af anon nami tanina. We have a proof to this from the Mishnah. Hayayoshev al gabe mita va'arba talios tachas arba ragle hamita. Tameos, the case again. the zav is sitting on the mita, and there are 4 talios underneath the 4 legs of the bed. They're tameh. Because the bed cannot stand on 3 legs. Each leg is necessary. So the Gemara says, "V'amai, why? Liboy shir zivo lazeh v'shir zivo lazeh." Shouldn't we need the full shear of tumah ziva for each leg? And here you're dividing it 4 ways. La'av mishum de'amin and shir echad l'chulam. Clearly, we say it's 1 shear for all of them. Amar of Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, "Afanon namitanina." We have a Mishnah also that proves this. Tzvisha nichnas labayis. Let's say a deer enters a house. V'noal echad b'fanav. If one person locks the door and does trapping on Shabbos, chayev, he's chayev. Noal u'shnayim. But if 2 people close the door and trap the deer, patur, and then they're patur. But lo yachol echad linol v'noal u'shnayim chayavim. But if the 2 people are not able, if one person alone can't close the door, it's too heavy, and the 2 people do it, then as we said, when it's ze eino yachol v'ze eino yachol, they're chayiv. But the Gemara says, "V'amai, why? Liboy shir tzedel lazeh v'shir tzedel lazeh." Here they're capturing 1 animal. We should require shir tzedel for each person. You should require at least 2 animals. La'av mishum da'amin and shir echad l'chulam. Clearly, this Mishnah indicates that you only need 1 shir for the 2 people doing the malacha. Amar Ravina says, "Afanon nami tanina." We have a Mishnah like this as well. Hashutfen shegonvu v'tavchu chayavin. Let's say partners steal and shecht an animal. They're both chayiv. V'amai wa'ili boy shir tzvicha lazeh shir tzvicha lazeh. You should need a shir of slaughtering for each person. There's a fine of 4 or 5 times the amount when you steal the animal and slaughter it. You should need a shir for each one. Lav misham da'amin and shir echad l'kulam. Clearly, again, we say 1 shir for all of them. V'yamar Ravashi, and Ravashi says, "Afanon nami tanina." We have a mission like this as well. Shnayim shehotziu kanish al gardi. Let's say 2 people do hotzah. They carry the rod that a weaver uses. Chayavin. In such a case, they're chayav. And again, v'amayli boy shir hotzah lazeh v'shir hotzah lazeh. We should require the shir hotzah for each individual. Lav mishum da'amrin and shir echad l'kulam. Isn't it true that we say it's 1 shir for all of them? Amar le Ravacha brei Rav le Ravashi. On this last proof, Ravacha the son of Rava says to Ravashi, "Dilma di isbei k'dei levashel beitzakala lezeh." Maybe they do have the shear. The shear is enough to cook a light egg, as we said before. Maybe there's enough wood over here in this rod, or enough fuel to cook a light egg for each person. The Gemara says, "No, im kain lishmin and kana dialma." Then you should have told us a regular rod. Maishna de gardi. Why are you telling us a weaver's rod? Clearly, the shear here is the amount they're carrying it in order to weave. The Gemara says still, maybe there's enough here to weave 2 items, and therefore it is a shear for both of them. The Gemara says from here, you don't have a proof one way or the other. Tani Tana Kami Rav Nachman, there was a Tana who taught before of Nachman, Shnayim Shawatziyo, Kana Shal Gardi. Let's say 2 people carry this rod of the weaver, Peturin, they are Potter. Rabbi Shimon Mechayev, and Rabbi Shimon in this case says Chayev. Now the Gemara says Klap Elaya. This seems totally backwards. This brisa that's being taught to Rav Nachman seems to be in the wrong direction, because Rav Shimon's the most lenient. He generally is the one that says Potter. Elo'ema Chayav and Rabbi Shimon Potter. The Gemara says you're right. You have to change the brisa. The brisa really has Rabbi Shimon saying Potter. He's the lenient one, and the Tanakama says Chayev. The Gemara now continues with the Mishnah, Hamotzi Ochlin Pachos Mikashir. Let's say somebody does hotzah on Shabbos with food, less than the shear, so you're not chayiv on the food. Bikli, but he's carrying the food in a kli. Potter afal akli. You're potter even for carrying the kli. Shakli tfeilolo, because the kli is subservient to the food, and there's not enough food to be choshev, so the whole thing is not carrying. As hachai b'mita potter. Similarly, if you carry someone who's alive in a bed, so the bed is tofel to the potter afal amita. You're potter even on the bed. Shamita tfeilu. The mita, the bed is tfeila. It's subservient to the person, and generally when you carry a person you're not chayiv, because we say that a chay nosei esatzmo, a living person assists in carrying himself, so therefore you're going to be completely potter. Now es hameis b'mita, let's say you carry someone who's dead who's lying in a bed, chayiv, in that case you'd be chayiv. V'chein kazayis min hameis, or kazayis min hanavela v'chadash min hasheretz, even if it's just a kazayis from a mace, or a kazayis from a nevela, or it's a lentil, or the amount, the size of a lentil from a sheretz. In all those cases chayiv, you're chayiv. Rashi says all these things are considered chashav, because any amount that causes tumah is considered chashav. Rashi says chayiv imhotzi the whole mitame hotzah chashuvahi. As long as you're carrying an amount which creates tumah, that's a hotzah chashuva lahatzil atzma min hatumah. Why is it considered chashav? Because he's saving himself from tumah. He's trying to get the tumah away, so he's going to be considered chayiv in that case. However, Rabbi Shimon poter. Rabbi Shimon in these cases says poter, and Rashi explains. Rabbi Shimon Poter, afilu b'meis sholem, even carrying an entire dead body on a bed or carrying it is going to be pater. To have a malacha she'ein tzrich legufa, because it's a malacha she'ein tzrich legufa. V'chol malacha she'ein tzrich legufa l'salka me'olav. Anytime you're carrying something you don't want this item, you're trying to get it away from you. Have a malacha she'ein tzrich legufa. That's called a malacha she'ein tzrich legufa. Tiveritzono lo balo v'lo hayatzarach. He doesn't need this item. Hilkach lav malachas machshavas. Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon holds malacha she'ein tzrich legufa is pater. So he says you're pater in all these last cases of the dead bodies or the kazayis min hameis, all these cases you're going to be pater. The Gemara says, Tan Rabban, we learned in a braysa, hamotzi ochlin kashir, if somebody carries ochlin, the right amount of ochlin, in bikli chayiv ala ochlin u pater ala kli. If you're carrying them in a vessel, you're going to be chayiv for carrying the food. You're not going to be chayiv for the kli, because again, it's tafel. But if he needs to use the kli for something, then indeed you'll be chayiv on the kli as chayiv afal kli. You're going to be chayiv on the kli as well. The Gemara says, what does that mean? If a person eats two kazesim of chaylev in one forgetting, in one action, essentially, you're going to be chayiv too. That's not true. If a person eats chaylev, a kazayis of chaylev, and then in the same not realizing the isser, he eats another kazayis of chaylev, you only chayiv one. We've said that many times. So why over here you're doing two hotzahs, one on the food and one on the kli? Why should you be chayiv twice? It's the same action. It's the same malacha. So Amar Rav Sheshes says, Hacha b'mayaskina. Here, what are we talking about? Kegon, for example. And the Gemara will continue with this answer. We'll see that in the next video on Daf Tzadi Dalid Amud Aleph.